Hello and welcome to another Cliff Reviews Art House. This time I'm reviewing the 1970 film Wanda, directed by Barbara Loden. This is a strange film. When it was released it made little impact, but later it was embraced by a number of people as a masterpiece, and now there's a very high regard for it. A friend recently saw it and recommended it, and I'm really glad that I've seen it. Wanda feels really unpolished, even amateurish. The camera shakes, the resolution is poor at times, the sound often drifts in and out, but I think that this is precisely what gives it its strange, unsettling power. It gives the film a raw, almost documentary feel, like it's found footage. As well as directing, Loden plays Wanda, a woman who leaves her husband and children at the beginning of the film, seemingly with no remorse. She doesn't fight for them, or she doesn't fight for herself. She just doesn't seem to care. She just walks out and keeps walking. What follows is a series of encounters, mostly with men who exploit her, ignore her, or use her. She's not a fighter, she's not a victim exactly, and certainly she's not a heroine. She's just there. In films, I think we generally expect women to be likeable, purposeful, redeemable, but she's none of these things, and it's this that feels like makes the film rather radical. I'm not sure I would go as far as saying that the film is boring, but its messiness, its aimlessness, it is hard work at times. That's not really a criticism, as I think it is part of the experience. The pacing is slow, the plot nearly non-existent. When it ends, it offers no relief, no narrative closure, no real sense of what it all means. You're left wondering if anything truly happened at all, and yet that emptiness, that lack of a satisfying arc, I think that's the point. I don't think Loden was interested in a story about overcoming adversity. She's showing us what it looks like to simply endure, to exist in the cracks of a society where you don't really fit in. Wanda does have some agency. She chooses to leave, she chooses the road, but her freedom seems really hollow. She's not liberated. Wherever she goes, men exploit her. There's a subtle horror in this, a sense that stepping outside the confines of wife and mother doesn't leave her empowered. The film's refusal to moralise is really striking. Wanda isn't brave or inspirational. She has no cause. She lacks scruples, direction. She lacks self-pity. She simply exists, and that's what's radical. I'm not sure that we'd ever seen a female character like this before in cinema, and I don't think there's been that many since. Andrea Arnold's Fish Tank and Chantal Akerman's Jeanne Dielman perhaps both do a similar thing. Wanda's passiveness and her moral ambiguity, her blankness, these are usually male traits in cinema. She is, in a way, the female counterpart to the existential male drifter, the loner, the anti-hero. But her story, unlike theirs, has no romance, no fantasy, just motels, bad food, abusive men, and the slow fading of self. In some senses, the film Wanda reminds me of John Cassavetes. His work is much more polished and a lot more volatile, but the raw authenticity of the characters did feel somewhat similar. But where Cassavetes gives us fireworks, Loden gives us quiet. Her minimalism is more austere, her aesthetic much less deliberate. Cassavetes' characters rage and unravel. Wanda barely speaks. Yet I think that both Loden and Cassavetes share a commitment to naturalism, to moments that feel overheard rather than performed, and to characters who resist easy explanation. Wanda isn't an easy film to like. At times it's hard to stay with, but in its slowness, its sparseness, it does something really interesting. It just lets Wanda drift. No moral, no transformation. It's a film that lingers. I've kept thinking about it since I've seen it, and this is probably its greatest strength. Wanda isn't entertaining as such. It's like an observation and a revelation of something really important, but in a quiet, nuanced way. It's definitely not for everyone, but I would definitely highly recommend it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.